Build-off trucks are always wall-to-wall and treetop tall, but when it comes to one-off custom designs and styling that's never been seen before, this truck knocks it out of the park. You guys crushed it.
Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it.
Gang, we're down here at the Mid-America Truck Show, PKY 2026. I'm here with my old buddy Randy Menkel. Him, Jamie Williams, all the crew at J&L Contracting in Springfield are no stranger to the PKY. But the build-off now, this is a first outing for your team, right?
Yes.
How was that?
It was interesting. It was interesting. It I guess definitely made the bonding a better quality in the shop for the shop boys. The timeline was kind of intense.
And I know you guys burned the midnight oils for weeks here in the last little stretch. But man, you got it. And I got to tell you, the build-off trucks are always wall-to-wall and treetop tall. But when it comes to one-off custom designs and styling that's never been seen before, this truck knocks it out of the park. You guys crushed it. And it's hard to do on a Peterbilt, first of all. Really hard to do on a 359, 379. But as you walk around this, everywhere you look, there's 3 or 4 things that's like, I've never seen that before. Very difficult to do on a Peterbilt. Is it a team thing, or is you got one guy that really stands out? Are these ideas you've had in your head for months, years?
There's always those ideas that just pop up as you're going through the build.
Right.
I don't want rods on the air package. Let's do something different. You're sitting on top of the motor thinking, you're like, well, why couldn't you just do this? And you're like, let's go for it.
300 hours later, you've got that. After 2 of them ended up in the scrap pile, man, you got some stuff that works.
But it's those deals that you have to do. You have to pull it off because it has to be different.
I've seen a lot of trucks and a lot of Peterbilts, and this one here is going to blow your mind. Like, let's just start here under the engine compartment, and no kidding, there's 60 things here that we could talk about. Pick your top 4.
Basically, to get the steering box out of the way, 379 frame horns. We ordered a 389 axle stem out of my old Back in Black truck.
Yep.
But it was a disc brake, so I had to order drum brakes off another one of our trucks just to make it fit right.
One thing leads to another,
It does, but it's cool that I have all these trucks in the back of my mind and VIN numbers that we can order stuff.
For those of you that don't recall, I mean, the 359 steering box is clear back here under the cab. So you're changing the whole front clip of the chassis just to make this happen.
So we went with a 379 cooling package to where your CAC's down here instead of over the top. With that being said, you couldn't use the assist lifts, the air cylinders like a 359 would have. Like I said, we didn't want hood rod, or we didn't want rods for the cooling package, so we call this the ape hanger. So we've got a 19-year-old kid in the shop, and this was his deal.
How cool is that? You've never been another one before, and you'll never see another one like it.
It's got 3 points of rubber, 2 on the air packages, and then 1 right there in the center. Hood cables, they're a 2014 Dodge tailgate.
Tailgate
strap.
Go figure.
They measured out exactly what we needed, and we went to core.
The most inexpensive part on the whole truck, and you can get it at AutoZone right here. A whole lack of electrical wiring. We don't have enough time on this tape to talk about everything that's been done there, but kind of give us the quick highlights on how all this disappeared.
So basically, we wanted the motor as clean as possible. So the fuel filters, the oil filter, the ECM, the injector harness that comes out of the rocker box, we didn't want to see any of that. So the injector harness that got Frenched into the back of the rocker box. The fuel filters all got moved in behind the fuel tanks, the ECM's behind the firewall. Any line that came off this truck, I wanted it straight down into the frame and run the frame rail back. That way it declutters everything. A couple people that was really involved in the motor part of it, grinding all the casting off. If you're familiar with cap blocks, everything's squared and sharp.
Not on this one.
Everything got rounded off. Any bolt hole that we wasn't using it basically got an Allen-headed plug, and it got covered.
Wow.
So if it ever needs to go back there, we can literally grind it down and find it and put it back on there.
Unbelievable. Did you hear that, folks? The ECM, all the injector wiring, all got relocated.
It's all gone.
What kind of maniacs do that? Look down here at the oil pan. What's missing? You don't see no drain plugs. They've all been moved to, well, it has been moved to the back.
Yeah, now there's one.
Clean and out of sight.
One drain plug, and it got tapped, and the oil temp sensor is in the drain plug, so you just unplug it.
Yeah.
This here would be where your timing sensor is. So it got covered. There's a little access plate here to where you can get to it, and then it's ran out in stainless, the wiring for it.
Trick after trick. Oh, of course, all stainless hose is a nice touch.
Yep.
You said this is power steering now?
Power steering.
Power steering, yep.
Which we're running red power steering fluid to go with the motor. Antifreeze blue out of a Komatsu just to.
You gotta have it. I mean, you got to.
Gotta have
Did
it.
that get you a point on the judging card?
I don't know.
All custom fabbed, air intake tubing.
So that's off of 589. We got 359, 379, 389, and 589 parts. So you have all the 9s of the Peterbilt in one area of the truck. We went and robbed these. We got 3 new 589s sitting out in the lot, and we went and robbed some parts.
Firewall's completely clean. Nothing but the core, the name of the truck up there, out of the ordinary. Custom hood pin pockets, the big U-brace under the back of the flywheel housing, all of it custom built. Little skinny bow tie visor.
Yep.
Reset all the cab lights. But even more importantly, what kind of lights are those on the roof?
Well, I got a pretty good friend. He said, "Hey, let's use some legendary lights on this thing." And I was like, "All right, let's do it." So
Mighty good up there.
the legendary extremes. So we fit the legendary extremes to the actual metal cab
Those are
light.
the solid
castings.
metal cab lights.
And then there's 96 legendary extremes under the truck for the underglow.
Real quick, before we go to the cab interior, just look at the bottom side of this hood.
Sir,
Look, the
on
cover's made for all the reinforcement ribbing.
Yep.
The paint is as good on the bottom side of the hood as the top. You just do not see things taken to this level.
So in the cab, we wanted to do a custom dash. Russ Rods, Jamie Johnson, he came up with the upper dash. He built all that. We kind of collaborated on what we wanted, stringing through pictures on the internet. You're looking and you're changing this, and you're changing that, and this is what we ended up with. That's a 95 379 column in here. We did all the lower dash in-house, fabbed it all out. We flat floored a 359.
So instead of having the kick up like the stock floor, they took it straight. That's no easy task. There again, 240 hours later, we got a flat floor.
We flat floored it, so it literally feels like you got an extra 2 foot of leg room in a 359, which coincides with the big hole. We took a 389 big hole. We stretched it 3 inches on each side. We lowered it 3 inches in the center, just so we could get all the cab we could possibly use.
Right.
We moved the air valves, the truck and trailer, and we added one for the
cool
PTO
is that?
down in the floor, just because old trucks used to have 3.
I'm totally digging that. Is this a authentic 4-speed?
It's a 4-speed auxiliary.
Yeah, come on. I didn't know if that was like the fake, overdrive direct, or that's a real 4-speed.
That's a real one. This 5EK Cat's got an 18-speed and a 4-speed auxiliary, so you got 72 forward moving gears.
And it's 85, 359.
Yep, 1985, 359.
And we'll get to it later, but you got some heavy spec rear axles, don't you?
46K full lockers on low air leaf, that was on my wish list because those are extremely hard to find.
Oh, yeah.
And we drove to Denver and picked them up. And when we got them back, I was looking at the license plate. There was an Alaskan license plate on it.
Oh,
so I was
miracle you even found one.
I was like, we're going to reuse those.
Yeah. Sound system?
Carmel Audio there in Springfield. He came out and hit hard on the sound system. Ditch by Doe is who did our interior there in Springfield. He did an outstanding job.
Are these the 12-gauge boxes?
These are the 12-gauge stainless diamond plate.
Those are really cool. That's stainless, folks, not polished aluminum, so it's going to look that way.
I wanted the classic look of a 1985 on the outside.
It kind of goes with the heat shields, the exhaust, the whole bit, yeah.
Yep, we had the grill insert cut for the heat shields too, so that all matches.
Mirror brackets.
12-gauge mirror brackets.
No bolt together. All welded, sanded, polished.
We even went as far as taking the roof cap and cutting the corners and making it tighter to where it fit the cab right.
You guys, stop it.
The sleeper here, it started out as a double eagle. We call it a never satisfied build sleeper now because we went to the extreme on it. But the only thing original on this is corners, the roof cap, and just the angle of the framing at the very bottom. Everything's been restudded.
Like so many things on this truck that you miss, like what's missing? All these hundreds of rivets largely are now gone.
Yep, everything's been bonded together.
Made it bigger, better, stronger on structure, then reskinned everything.
With
pretty much
3 times thicker steel.
Yeah.
Seamless.
Yeah. So we like to say there's 400 hucks missing out of this sleeper, but we don't know if there's actually 400. But it looks like there's 400.
A bunch.
Gone.
We won't argue with 400. You could have told us more.
Yeah.
This is a cool little clubhouse theme you got going on the bunk. I dig that.
So the back wall, JB Johnson did that for us too, because I wanted this truck to be tagged as a build-off truck. That way, 15 years from now, somebody's going, hey, that was a build-off truck in Louisville.
Totally dig it. I'd hate to be trapped in there with the volume on 10.
So all these
ears bleeding.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I told the stereo guy. He said, what are you looking for? I said, internal bleeding. So there's 30 speakers total in the truck. There's racks of 8, both fronts.
Oh yeah, there's more around the corner.
Oh yeah.
I got these tanks from Alumitank. Had them timed to where the filler necks are on the inside, just to
that's a
clean
nice
up,
trick. Yeah.
Just kind of clean up the outside of the truck. The back wall, Jeff at 12 gauge. I had him make this out of a one piece.
One piece, because everything else has a seam.
Yep.
This is all one skin.
All one piece.
That's rolls off our tongue pretty easy.
It does.
You got to look all over the North America to find aluminum in this width in a sheet.
But we had my fab guys build a jig to where we could jig this to glue it, have equal pressure throughout the whole deal while they were gluing it on.
Forward eye panel and rear, this is all custom one-off. Randy was telling me they're all steel, bodywork, and then painted to match. Space out the fuel tanks, 2.5 inches. There's just so many things you don't realize goes into a build of this magnitude.
And the driveline cover that's down there, it's got 6 legendary extremes on both sides.
Clean, you'll see the lack of bolts. Almost don't even see the brackets, but complete lack of bolts on these fenders.
So the brackets themselves is all receiver tube, so you can slide them in, slide them out. It's got a pin bolt and a clinch bolt, keep the vibration off of it. So everything's glued together. We did make the brackets to where we wanted to bolt it on later. We can bolt them just to make sure. But I had 2 guys doing a hammer test on these things for like 2 days, just beating them with sledgehammers.
They passed the test.
They said these things are pretty tight.
Yeah. That's a slick trick with the receiver hitches, making them removable. That's another first. It may have been done before, but I've never seen it. Boxed in all the suspension hangers here, ground these down, got rid of all the castings, the wording, part numbers on them. Got the hoop here to hold your hydraulic hoses. Now, is this really going to be hooked up to a heavy haul trailer, moving equipment? No time soon.
You know us. It wouldn't be very surprising if we did build a trailer for it and have a yellow piece on the trailer.
That would next level cool it, and it's already hard to get above the level we're at right now. But yeah, T-cane hub covers, super long 5th wheel slide, polished out 5th wheel. Come on around back.
And that the 5th wheel's painted on the bottom side of it.
Right,
too.
right.
That's one thing a lot of people don't do, which I think you can go into the stainless deck plate and look up and see the detail on just that.
No rear cross member. It's all welded, bodywork.
This curvature line in this top plate, it matches the fender. The rear panel, Nathan Curry out of Nixa, he airbrushed that and did all the hand pinstriping on it for us. A stacker trailer, we can pull a Jeep behind it just to go to a show. Notice how easy that was to show.
Oh my God. Yeah.
For a 359 guy.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do on that?
So we used Kenworth style hood supports to where it's basically the pin, which we fabbed in the loop part of it down here on the cab bracket itself, and put the pin in the hood. So you got it's just sturdy. There's no rollers rattling. There's no. It's just way cleaner.
To even put that puzzle together that you just said. All right, gang. What do you think of that walk around? Randy, thanks for taking us around, and I got to tell you, hats off to you guys.
Thank you,
Mucho respecto. You had that in the beginning, but I have seen a lot of trucks, and I've not seen any finer than this one. Like, you guys set the bar really high. I told you yesterday, you just made next year tougher on yourself.
We did.
But that's kind of the mold. That's the way you guys are. There's a lot of respect in that. But this is an awesome truck. You guys crushed it.
On the big rig build off, this year's winner is Randy Menkel, 1985.